All right, friends, for math today, we're going to be doing an outside activity because it's just too nice to be spending too much time indoors. So before you get started, you're going to need to make sure that you have a pile of sticks, okay? These sticks should be relatively straight. They don't have to be perfect, but you want to make them straight-ish. And the more you get, the more challenging your activity can be. So grab as many as you can, and I will set you up for the challenge. So before I do, I want to remind you of a couple concepts we learned in school. One of them is parallel lines. Now take a look at my two sticks. Remember, parallel lines are lines that are on opposite sides of each other and will go on forever and ever and ever without touching. Now, if we extended these lines, they wouldn't touch. They would just keep going straight forever. If we turned our lines like this, they're no longer parallel, right? Because now, boop, they touch, okay? Sort of the opposite of parallel lines are what's called perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines are lines that cross, okay? Now you can have perpendicular lines in a few different ways. You could have them here, and you know that they're perpendicular because each corner forms a little square, or like the corner of a book. Now, I have my little square sticky note here to test and see if it's perpendicular. And each corner, you can see, my sticky note fits in. That's how I know that they're perpendicular lines. If my sticks were crossed like this, I could test to see if they're perpendicular. Uh-oh, look how much extra room my sticky note has. Or on this side, there's not enough space for it to fit. So you know that these cannot be perpendicular lines. Now, you could also have a perpendicular line like this. Perpendicular lines have to touch. And so in this case, you can still fit your sticky note inside this perpendicular line. Now this right here has a special name. It's an angle, and it's called a right angle. Right angles are inside or outside of a shape that form a perfect L, or the book corner, or again, the square sticky note. So when you have your perpendicular lines, you need to make sure that you have right angles. That's how you know you have perpendicular lines. So today's challenge has to do with right angles, those ones that could fit the perfect square or look like the letter L. Here's your challenge. Make a shape that has as many right angles as you can. Now, right now, I'm going to use some chalk. You don't have to, but if you have chalk at home, it might help. You can see I have one right angle right there. But is this a shape? I mean, kinda. It's not a polygon. It's not closed. I'm not saying you have to make a polygon. I just want to make sure that you have a shape with right angles. So you can choose if you want to make a closed shape or an open shape. It could overlap or cross, totally up to you. So if I made this, okay, I have another right angle, and I can test it with my square if I want to. Yep, right angle. There's a second one. And third one, and I can test, and a fourth one. All right, this shape has 4 right angles. Woohoo! I challenge you to find more than 4 right angles. And you can do that by being a little bit creative. Instead of closing up your shape, think about how else you could move your shape, change it up, see what kinds of weird things you can make to get as many right angles as you can. Now, if you'd like to post to Seesaw your total number of right angles, you are more than welcome to. I'd love to see what creative shapes and ideas you come up with. Look, right here, I already have so many. Okay, so go ahead, collect your sticks, give it a shot, see how many right angles you have. Make sure you count them up at the end, see what you can come up with. Good luck, everyone.